Windmill fall apart, love forever, hand in hand. Love forever, love is cheap now, everybody, you and me. Alrighty, and OKO, and OKO. Alrighty. Okay. Alrighty. Shoot the thing. That. Yep. Okay. Here. Oh. Alrighty. Folks. Quick channel works basically. Nothing much. Right? Nothing much, just some just some basic stuff. I'm going to set this thing up, but I'm going to work on a little bit different things that what you might be expecting. I guess let's do that. Maybe. Okay. So there's a couple things that I want to do. Three things connected with a streaming stuff, channels basically, both this one and the gaming one. We're going to actually play some more Yakuza a bit later on. I didn't really farm out much cash. I can't actually do that because if I outclick, the game is not. If I outclick, the game is not running. Sorry for yawning, by the way. So basically, there are a couple of things that I want to figure out. First of all, first things first that I want to figure out is the thumbnail. Thumbnails for everything, basically, for both YouTube videos that I'm planning on doing and streams. Because there's going to be a little bit of a difference with what we actually going to have, basically, there's going to be a huge difference with what I can do and what I won't be able to do. For example, I can't really already show you the finished piece because I'm doing everything on stream, right? Like, come on, I don't have the finished piece to show it. Another thing, I know that I've mentioned that several times already, but I'm going to actually try to work out a bit different things. Not only videos, I want to come back to art tutorials finally. It will take some time, but we'll see. there's a huge thing how I want it to look like. Hi Muto, got to here, how your brain has going? So early. You're not sleeping. Oh my. Um so yeah, like I need to figure out them for videos, which I can do like already finished pieces because it's just going to be simpler this way. But I also need stream ones. But those two are going to, well, this one especially is going to be pain in the ass. I've noticed one thing: a lot of streamers, especially art streamers, actually don't really have thumbnails. They are just living with whatever YouTube is offering them. That shows something, but I don't think that this is exactly what I want. Sure, showing progress is good, but I do think that actually having some kind of a thumbnail for the streams is going to make a huge thing. Also, we are going to know what I'm going to draw. So like maybe a writing what we are going to draw to, you know. Um, and when we are at those, um, um, titles. Titles are going to be also very important for me to work on. So I'm slowly starting to do stuff that I should be doing at the very beginning of my channel. I'm doing it so late because I actually feel like I want to start taking care a little bit more to the channel. You could see that I've been changing things a little, rotating stuff a little bit. I've started adding I've started thinking about making drops of sketches. Generally advertising my channel, my account, starting to like think how to show myself on the internet a bit more, and just generally using up my entire knowledge of making art content on the internet. As a matter of fact, I've grew quite a following on the other account quite quickly for some reason. I mean, for some reason, I've used partially more or less some of the knowledge I've had just because I wanted to stack up on some commissions quite quickly. And now look at me, people are just, despite having low prices, people are ordering even $25 worth of commissions per person. So it's like, it's not really it's in total it's not really that much, but for example this month alone it's like around $50, which is already good enough. Which is already good considering that this channel that this account was running for like half a year, I guess. And again, it's only DeviantArt, and I'm assuming there would be much more if I would be presenting everything all around the internet, not only DeviantArt. So there's a huge difference between like actually advertising yourself everywhere and advertising yourself on one platform. I'm assuming that at this point I could possibly raise the prices, still have a lot of clients, and just be able to drop my job at this point if I would. Through the past half year, I would actually advertise myself on every single platform this way. But like, that's more or less what I want to do for the channel. Like I want to finally grow it. I want to finally tend to it because I have a lot of projects and I want to start taking care of those projects. And I know that with my day job it's going to be impossible. So I want to exchange my day job for streaming and take care of my projects on stream too. So I'm going to connect the two things that I want to do. Yeah, but anyway, can't sleep. Oh, oh no. Yeah. So thumbnails for videos and streams separately. Titles, sure. I want to make the video content art related. I. Mm. Yes, you. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. That. Are you going to stream again later today? Yes. I'm going to stream games. But also, I don't think it's going to take as long. I'm going to treat it more or less like a talk. Just talking stream with some game in the back. I don't think I'm going to like progress with the main story. I'm just going to run around, probably beat up some guys, stack up on cash. So probably like about hour of farming on stream, and that'll be it. So don't prepare for anything long. Yeah, I'm going because I want to also take care of some other stuff. Huge project. You might know what which project I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Because it's our project, right? So thumbnails for those are like the main things. I want to draw those. Video content, art. So just a list of stuff of things. So just like videos that I can do, right? Art related. So like, for example, deep dive into style, right? Someone is sitting down and like, oh, I would want to learn about One Piece art style. And like, lo and behold, deep dive into the art styles. What makes this style so unique and stuff, right? So like looking into different characters, structures, body builds, etc., etc., etc. So like how to work your way into that style that actually One Piece is doing, right? So like basically talking about all those anime styles. Same for Reno Tuna, for example, and like other deep dives into stuff. Just basically like more or less a I wouldn't say like a tutorial how to work on the style, or neither showing how like a master study, because I'm not aiming to learn those styles, but like a deep dive to share all the necessary informations that make this certain style, just so if someone wants to learn it, they can look into that video and just deep dive into it and kickstart their learning, basically, because they just have everything from that. So yeah, for example, that among speed paints and like other things, I want to do specific thing. I want to switch things a little bit and work and actually, how to say this? I'm more or less in a moment where I'm at the perfect day routine. So for example, on Sunday we're going to make sketching stream. Because it's going to be a marathon. I'm going to start streaming and I'm going to sketch 3 sketches, 3 finished sketches. Those cool, right? I'm going to have everything like flat colored and separated, so I'll be able to just dive in, color things, and a bit faster and call it a day, right? So I'm going to do those. So I'm going to have sketches and colored pieces, 3 for 3. Plus, I'm going to work on an illustration. One of those might be turned into illustration. I also want to make streams where I'm going to show you my learning processes. You've already seen some of those, but I want to actually take out a little bit from that. Not really like train what I've already known but for example, I want to learn environmental arts. So the environmental arts is going to be very specific, because for the love of me, I can't really do environmental arts, and trust me, it'll be pain, because I'm going to sit down, I'm going to decompose into simple shapes everyday life objects like cups, cans, posters, consoles, chairs, tables, everything, all of those things separately. It's going to be boring, but it is how actually learning looks like. You go into things that you don't know and you actually go into it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that'll be it, right? So that's the thing. And the gaming list, basically. Gaming video list. I want to start doing things a little bit differently on gaming. Um, I know I could sit down and probably rush Yakuza, but after finishing Yakuza, I want to finally do what I'm supposed to be doing. So I want to make actually the streams as proper Let's Plays. So I'm going to sit through all of the cutscenes, read all of the dialogues, just basically do everything that a normal gameplay is going to have. I want to make the gameplays a bit more interesting. That's because I want to actually split the live streams into. I want to split the live streams into episodes. I'm going to split the episodes into 15. Well, I'm going to split the one live stream into 15-minute long episodes. So that's like, let's say if I'm going to have 2 hours of gameplay on stream, I'll be able to cut things out, you know, like for example, when I'm stuck, etc. And then just split it into 15-minute long things. Right, so like all the farming, not farming, yada yada yada. It's all going to be landing into gaming streams, into gaming episodes. And let's say I'm going to have 2 age of content, even if I would have to cut out like 30 minutes from it in everything. That's 1.5 age. So that's 15. We have 60. That's 4. Yeah, that's like 6 episodes, for example, right? Well, it depends how much is going to be left. I want to keep, because here's the thing. I'm actually torn between taking all of the streams, right? Downloading them, cutting out things where I'm stuck. But at the same time, I know that I'm not really, that I'm boring on the gaming streams. I'm not like active, I'm not doing anything when there's battle. For example, in Yakuza, I'm just shutting up. It's just, you know, it's just going to be boring. I'm not really doing those oh, I 100%ed the game, because I'm not 100%ing the game. Unless I want to, but then the games are going to take a really long time. But I don't know at this point, you know? Like, the gaming is very specific. I don't know what to do. I've seen people like 100%ing the games. I've seen people that people are just playing to play the story and call it a day. They don't really 100% the game unless they really like the game. I don't know. I'm just trying to do the thing. So yeah, that's that. So we will see. That's why I need to sit down and work on those things. That being said, I guess I'm going to there are a couple things that I can do. I'm going to for sure use a tool, right? I'm going to for sure use a bunch of tools to help me figure out the idea for the thumbnails. Because I need the thumbnail to be very universal. I'm not going to make like Davis in like different you know, in like different poses, facial expressions, at least for now, because I don't think it's going to be good for live streams. I just need to somehow show like, hey, actually look at that. This is what we are going to do on the stream. How cool is that, right? Or for example, I'm going to show the and show the finished character and for the videos, and the streams are just going to have like quick doodly thing. But yeah, no. Hmm. Uh, you know, like I don't know. I don't know. Wait, let me just quickly look through that. How are I'm typing in art streams. So what people are doing? So they have like I hate not sleeping. To be fair, I wish I wouldn't have to sleep. Quack. Hi Zaga, got to here. How are you? Hope everything has gone. Hmm. More or less, I see what's going on. You know, like probably not going home today. Oh, still still resting. That's nice. That's really good. Hmm. Moo moo. How it going? It's going good. It's going good. I'm more or less trying to figure out the stuff that are on the list. So thumbnails, videos for videos and streams. I want to. What you doing? Yeah, like I'm trying to work a little bit on the channel stuff for both channels, the gaming and this one. I need to work out thumbnails. I'm not sure really what kind of thumbnails I want. I'm going to do a bunch of those. The thumbnails. Thumbnails. Thumb. When I'm googling when I'm looking at YouTube with art streams, I'm saying that it's not necessarily like any good. You know? I don't know. Like for example, also what I see is that people are taking the art, the VODs, right? And they're adding, for example, what they've done at the start. But then like they're turning this into, yeah, into videos. They don't have streams basically. They're making like versatile characters, you know, that have, for example, I found a guy Critter with exclamation point. By the way, I really love their their banner. I think I think I really got mine really good too. I really like this one. Huh. So basically, what do we see? I want a burger. Hamburger. Hamburger. So that creator, yeah, they're making streams, but their streams are. Kenshi has cheeseburger. Here, kitty, you can have a cheeseburger. Hmm. I kind of like their style of the thumbnails. Like for example, if I'm looking at Ina um, thumbnails, yeah, she's not going for the video VODs basically. There's a difference between making the video VODs and stuff, so that's it. One of the things that I see that, for example, Ina is preparing thumbnails. For example, the Ina Academy, it has the same thumbnail. It repeats. So the question is, do I want it repeating per thing? Right, so if I'm like going to cut this thing out and do like that, like do I want it to repeat or new per stream? On one hand, here I'm going to have less work. Here it's going to be more work. Because for like new thumbnail per stream or mix of the two. Oh no, like repeat, I mean like I'm going to make a thumbnail, for example, for each illustration. So let's say I'm going to make like a, you know, oh, here we are going to do this, and it's just going to be the same thumbnail until we finish that specific artwork, right? So that's the thing. So I guess that my repeat might be the mix of the two, um, unless you mean something else for the mix of the two. Because yeah, like repeat means that I'm going to still make thumbnails, but I'm not going to make like, oh, we've done some sketching, so now I'm changing the thumbnail for those streams because we've done some progress, right? You can make a thumbnail, for example, Devi with a canvas, then just paste the current stuff on the canvas. Yes, but I was thinking about this. I was really thinking about this. But the stuff on the canvas is going to be barely visible. I've done a test on that one. I've tried. I've done a test. I've made like a really quick, like a really quick mockup, right? There was like a 3D model, how the where the Davis would stand. I've had the canvas. The canvas was like really huge, by the way, because it was taking most of the screen. But still, even if the canvas was taking most of the screen, and I've took it as a thumbnail, the thumbnail was way too. The thing was way too small on the actual thumbnail. That's why now, because I've had the idea, and I think I've talked about this idea, and it was exactly that. But now I'm here thinking about making the thumbnails just because it didn't work. Hi Jax, I got over here. How are you? Hope it's going. It's going good. It's going good. The day after tomorrow, I have to come back to work. I think for one day, a lot of drivers I see now on the chats are coming back to the base still for the New Year's Eve and coming back on 5th. So we're going to come back on Monday because the boss will have to like figure out some stuff for the people that are going to unload on Monday. I have to send out some letters, so that's that. And basically, we're going to most likely, sit through things. So yeah. And yeah. So the thumbnails, right? So like, for example, let me show you, for example, how Ina is doing this. Mm, here, that's from the Ina stuff, right? Um, that's from the Ina stuff. And now, what is very specific on that? She made a logo for herself, right? On that one, and that's something I'm thinking about doing. Like making a logo for each series, sketching, illustration making, manga making, and stuff. I need to I need to be sure to start making the proper titles too. Right? I need to start making the proper titles too. I need to start changing the thumbnail. I need to start planning the streams ahead so people would know on YouTube and probably Twitch too. So basically, I want to make the premieres kind of thing, right? Like people are going to be able to sit down and they are going to see, hey, actually, there's like 5 streams planned. The thing is that I'm having problems with sticking up with my schedule. That's the problem. I'm having problems with sticking up to my schedule. But I need to. I really need to. I have a lot of time. Don't get me wrong. I'm having much more time actually than what I've had at my previous job. Even though at my previous job I've had only 4 working days. Those working days were 10-hour long. So for example, I couldn't really stream at some points, right? So I haven't had streams when I've had night shifts, or if I've had them at the morning time, which sucked. Now I can stream consistently at the same time and still have a fuck ton of time for myself because I'm working for 8 hours. So I'm going at 8. I'm starting working at 8. I'm finishing at 16. I'm back home after like 10-15 minutes. So I have like 16 to 19 time for myself. That's like 3 hours that I can just sit down, eat, take a shower, and then still sit down and do something else. I can stream for 2 hours, watch movies with my mom, and I'm falling asleep at 1 a.m. So I'm still capable to sit down and after like 22 sit down and still work for 4 more hours. 3 more hours. So I still have 6 hours that I can do things for the channel and stuff. I'm just lazy. I just sit down and I have no idea where all those hours are going. And trust me, I really have no idea because at times I'm not even watching videos on YouTube. I'm not even watching anything. I just sit down and I'm scrolling through YouTube. Not even shorts, I'm just scrolling through YouTube, the recommended, and refreshing the page. And out of nowhere, just like that, 2 hours disappear from my life. It's unbelievable because I feel like I'm dissociating from reality for 2 hours. It actually is like that. And I can't really like get myself to do the thing. So like I do have a lot of time. I have 8 hours for work, 8 hours for my stuff, and 8 hours of sleep, more or less. 6 hours of sleep. So it's nah, your brain just needs some off time. True. True. And you know why what I was thinking actually about recording some games even without any commentary. Because you know why? I can record the gameplay and then make those videos where I'm just cutting things around. So like I'm going to write down what I've done in peculiar moments. Um So like I'm going to just sit down, play for an hour, brain dead, not talking with anyone, not thinking about anything, just recording my gameplay as I'm sitting down and playing the game, or drawing, sketching, whatever. But playing games doesn't need brain time, so I think more that is going to be the best. And just, you know, like cut things a little and make one longer video from those scraps that I'm going to have. So in theory, I could actually get a lot of stuff. In theory, I could actually get a lot of stuff still done. Uh, Depends on the game, true, but I'm playing chill games. I like literally most of my games that I can play are actually games to chill out to. Besides like games that I want to stream, so like Assassin's Creed series, Yakuza series. Although for Yakuza series, that's also another thing, because for Yakuza series, what I'm going to do, you know? Yeah. So whatever. Whatever. Also, yeah, I can get a lot of cash with the cat fights in Yakuza. I found what is the thing people are doing, and basically they're just making bets of like 2 million, right, or 10 million even. They're going taking the strongest character, and then they are just showing like playing the rock paper scissors through the thing, and they get 20 million, because the best characters in catfights can only get you to like, you know, 2 point something times of what you bet. Some characters, if they win the finals, they can give you 99.99 times what you bet. The thing is that I would actually need to read a little bit more how to always win with the weakest characters, because then I can just bet and get 99.99 on the bet and just get like hundreds of millions in no time. I've got about 100 million right now. 120 million in from catfights. So that was it. And today we are going to actually do the same thing on Yakuza. And I think I can do literally that, like prepare stuff for the gaming stream to also do some off camera stuff. Uh, there's a game that I want to come back to, but I think I would want to start all over. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We've already played this game. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about wiping the games. I'm thinking about wiping off of the channel one game, that Fantasy Life game that we've played. Maybe play some of other games, but and I would leave that game, I don't know, maybe for the recording, you know. But on the other hand, I'm thinking about coming back to it, but it's grindfest. But circling back to the idea that I would just farm like off stream some stuff, I could just do that, no biggie, because I could just get the characters, level up the characters, get like the best characters teams, level up for the max, upgrade myself to the max, upgrade each like thing to the max, and then we could just beat the game, continue, walk around, upgrade, like build things, you know, just progress with no issues. But the game is just about farming items, so I don't know. That I feel like that game is not really that good for streaming. Same Graveyard Keeper and other stuff. Good games for streaming are like Yakuza games that are not infinite or are not grind fests. Yakuza, Assassin's Creed. For Yakuza, I can actually just dip. I can just continue the main story. I don't have to be bothered with it. But it's literally I know that the fights can get strong, so I like to min max. But it starts to get really boring. I could just rush through the game. But I also feel like it's not what I want to do, you know? That's why I think I'm going to finish Yakuza 0 and I'm going to play through Yakuza 0 myself. I'm going to try to skip everything, but I will try to 100% the game. So going for all of top to bottom, all of this stuff that I can do, 100% the game and call it a day. Another thing that I'm thinking about is .hack GU, but I really want to 100% that game too. The thing is that I have that like earworm or brain worm that I want to 100% the games, but I know it's boring. You know? On another hand, is it boring? In theory, I could drop Yakuza, play something else, 100% that game, and then, sorry, responding late, I'm good, what you doing? I'm just kind of trying to take care of some channel related stuff, so like, we're just speaking how it would work. But yeah, see, for the thumbnails, for example, Ina has like a sketch kind of thing. In Academy, her like logo for the thing, and then feedback stream, right? But then she's changing it and changing feedback plus drawing here, right? So like, but she keeps everything else here, right? She keeps everything else here. Same for the games, right? For the games, she has like, you know, the thing, like the background, for example, like the background is different background for each thing. For example, for each area she is in, but she's having like a number of the stream that she's doing that, so that's something I want to do also for the games. The thing for the games and like a chibi little drawing here, and I actually think like I want to do that. But another thing, don't starve, oxygen not included, etc. You can max them ever anyways, and that's not the point. Maybe some sandbox game. That's what I was also thinking about. I could play like some other sandbox games. Minecraft, I could play Terraria, I could play Don't Starve, Oxygen Not Included. What was the game that you are making the colony for? Not Oxygen Not Included, but the one that you are like Rimworld, yeah, that one. Rimworld, because I've got the game. So like I've got a bunch of sandbox games basically, but also Fantasy Life is a sandbox too, you know. I can get back to Fantasy Life too. That's why I'm thinking about like you can't max them ever anyways, and that's not the point. Yeah, so like I can play sandbox games, take a break. The thing is that I'm not really doing that many gaming streams, you know what I mean? And I still need like stream breaks. So for example, it's not sandbox, it's streamlined. Not quite. Because yes, it's streamlined, but it's because it also has a story. So you are unlocking things, but you can literally do whatever you want later on. Well, besides building the houses, I guess. Can't write your own story through random events. That's also true. I don't know what to pinpoint Fantasy Life to then. I don't know. I think it has sandbox in the thing. Let me quickly check the descriptions of it. Fantasy Life. Yeah. What genres are those? Where were the genres? Fantasy Life 1, I love that game. Yeah. I love that game too, and I've got the digital deluxe edition, you know? And I want to like play the game, finish it. We've played 29.3 hours altogether. There it is. RPG recreation, JRPG action building city. Okay, so it's not, it's city builder, not anything else. So it's RPG with city building system. Okay, makes sense. Mm. Hmm. So I want to kind of go into that. That's why I'm like really liking so basically that's why, for example, I really like Ina's thing, because Ina's thumbnails are, I don't know why, but Ina has like very specific vision that fits into my vision. You know what I mean? Like we have more or less the same idea. And I like, for example, making always some kind of a logo for all of those. Those finished looking thumbnails look good. Yeah. Yeah. For example, those, right? Or those. She's doing those quite often. For example, when she's like where she doesn't really have much time to complete things, like this one. She's just doing very quick thumbnail without like much work, because like, oh shoot, I still need a thumbnail for it. So she sits down and like stream quick doodle. It's like I would click on it to see how it going. Yeah, exactly. So like I'm also thinking about those, because like I can literally do the same thing, you know? But I still want to have that like logo for everything. So for the I would do like sketching stream, it would have like its own logo, illustration stream would have its own logo, yada yada yada. I would do the same thing for my art tutorial, Davis's Art Academy, the AA. I would for sure want to make some I would for sure want to make some streams from that too, for example with feedbacks. Yeah. So basically I'm kind of stuck. On the other hand, let me show you that other VTuber thing. Here are the thumbnails of the other VTuber, you know? So like that person doesn't have live streams section. All everything is in the video. So it's like art VOD, right? And the same thing goes here, like study, sketchbook, Sunday. So like probably just sketching. Same thing here for the art fight. So everything has its own logo, and I love it. So for sure, I want to have my own logo for everything. Logo for each series. But like the background of the thumbnail. That's like something I'm thinking the most right now, because like I can make the logo, so I can make like the basic like overlay for it. But what's going to what's the background is going to consist of? You know, so for example, Ina has that sketch for her in Academy. Critter has like different kind of artworks basically, and the artwork is actually, from what I see, actually has the thing based off of the like whatever was drawn. So like all like the artworks that they are making is like sitting into that. So that's another thing that I'm thinking about, you know? So I don't know. You can make the background what you're working on. I just started doing that myself. Yes, but how am I going to do that for streams? I'm going to work on those things on streams. I'm not going to be able to like make the thing, delete it, and work it again on just to have a thumbnail, you know? So like I'm sitting down, starting a new I'm starting a new artwork, and so I don't have anything to input. So what I'm going to work, what I have to show on the thumbnail. So that's the conundrum I'm thinking about. It's not that simple if you're thinking about the streams, you know? I say I usually have a work in progress before I stream. Yeah. Like I have these streams that are showing the entire process. I'm not working on stuff off of stream. I wish I could. I just fill out my day so much that I just don't have time for that. As a matter of fact, I should be working on the commissions and stuff because it's like 1403. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. So that's what that's the conundrum I'm facing. And like, sure, for example, Creator figured this out really well, but like, okay, sure, people are coming onto the streams and then they're like, for example, cutting the thing. That's another thing. I could just cut out stuff, you know, um, from the VODs that I have. So like, for example, we have some talk, you know, like for example the AI talk or something, and I could also make it a separate video, but I don't think that works. But just basically I could shorten down the thing to show only the drawing, basically, you know what I mean? But then it's not going to be fun. I think I get anxiety to start a drawing while streaming. I usually am I'm so locked in, you know. Myself, I'm two, and I'm starting the thing, so that's neat. You do whole process, yeah. But like now I'm facing issues, you know. I want to make those Sundays with sketches, so like sketching Sunday, and it's marathon. I'm doing 3 sketches basically throughout the entire day. I'm usually taking like 2 hours per sketch now to make things look good. So it's just going to take me about 6 hours to finish all of that. While I want to make Sunday stream longer. And basically I have to keep up at it with my schedule to make sure it's going to work. If is this Sunday going to be the Sunday I want it to be? Very unlikely. About 10% chances that I'm going to make 6 hour long stream for 3 sketches. Highly unlikely. Is the next Sunday going to be like that? Possibly. I'm not saying no. Actually. Yeah. Because like for those who don't know, I have very strict daily routine. I have everything filled out in form of like time slots. I have how much hours I should be sleeping. I have how much I'm going to work. I have other activities squeezed in, right? I'm even planning out when I'm going to watch movies with my mom. So that's like, I know that it's like very like maniacal kind of thing, but I can't really I can't really go about my day without at least having something like that. You won't be able to do it for too long though. I'm doing this every day for years. That routine just changes, you know? And now I'm trying to figure out, for years. I'm doing this for years. That's the thing. I have strict daily routine for years. I was even organizing stuff this way when I was going to school. That's the problem. It's like a maniacal like itch that I have that I can't go about my day without having a strict daily routine. So I have to wake up at certain time. I have to know from what time to what time I'm going to go. I just also learned to live with the fact that between switches, like between the time slots, I still have to do some stuff like coming back from work to home, or I have to account eating something, right? So there's like bunch of things that I'm keeping things. You just need some vacation sometime. Yes, and I'm actually taking that time off. Yeah, at least I'm trying to. I keep trying. Keep trying to force myself to draw, thinking that it's a time off. Because I've been drawing daily for years, but it's very bad. So I need a day that I'm going to reset myself, like just a day. Like I don't want to make it a weekend because a weekend I'm going to just have the entire thing, but like a day where I'm just not going to work off of the, and like I'm not going to work through the entire um day. So I'm going to go to work, come back, and just chill. You just need like 2 weeks or something. But it's like 2 weeks wasted. That's good way to keep everything organized. Need to do that myself. I'm the total opposite. I'm trying to go by a schedule for the New Year's, starting with my streams. The routines are healthy as long as you give yourself some leniency. You go to some place, nice charge up. Yeah, but like to do that, I would need to take up vacation time, and my boss is not going to allow me for that. So I need to work with things I have. I think it's not wasting time. It's a necessity for anyone. Yes, but like, what is resting? If I have an activity like drawing that I'm doing on everyday basis, I'm not thinking during that time. As a matter of fact, I'm drawing a little bit, watching some anime, turning on a game whenever I want. That's like just resting, isn't it? Because I'm not like it's not like I'm working, I'm not stressing over stuff, I'm just doing stuff. But in the meantime, I can just draw, and while I'm drawing, I can continue with some of the projects that I'm doing. Because I can just sit down and draw those things, isn't it? I'm not. It's not like I'm stressing over them. Of course, it would be cool to finish stuff. But like, for example, when I was making plans for this week, because I knew that, hey, actually I'm going to have most of this week off. I've had a plan to start making like all-nighters, like weekly all-nighters. For example, it's Friday to Saturday. I'm going to be able to make an all-nighter, so I'm going to come back from work and I'm going to sit through the entire night, work on stuff, go through entire Saturday still working on stuff, streaming, and going to sleep at like midnight. Sleep for 8 hours, work through the Sunday starting from 8, go to sleep at midnight again, or 23, and just, yeah. I guess something like sleeping all day, watching something, turning your brain off, that's rest emo. I've been scolded for not taking breaks from streaming. Burnout is real. Yeah, but like, I can't really like show how my brain works. Like, I think it might be because I'm on spectrum. Everybody can use some 3 to 4 day chilling at the beach, then wandering around a bit. I would love to just go to another city, just walk around stuff, go to the cinema, go to the museum. You know, like I wish I could do something like that, and I'm planning on something like that. Why don't you? Money, first of all. I'm losing my entire paycheck on house necessities like groceries and stuff. So I am not in a financial position for that. And my boss. If I would have those two things, if my boss would give me like even 2 days off, so I could go Thursday, Friday, right? So on Thursday I'm going to the other city. Friday, Saturday I'm chilling. Friday I'm chilling a little bit and coming back home, and then I'm coming back to the thing. I would do that. Like you would hear from me on Monday. Like that's the thing, you know? But you have weekends. 2 days. What am I going to do on the weekend? On Friday, because like on Sat on week during the weekend things are not really going as well when it comes to the transportation. So that's the problem. And then I have to come back. So I have to wake up, for example, very early, get ready. At 10 I have a train, for example. I'm going by train for 30 minutes to a bigger city. I have to commute to my hotel, and it's already like 14-15. And from 15 what I can do? Barely anything. Sure, I can go to the cinema, I can go to the museum, but what's open during the weekend? We also have that shitty rule that Sundays are like forced days off. For example, I won't be able to go to any stores or anything. Like bunch of stores are going to be closed because it's zero handle Sundays. That's how they call it. So like weekends are literally the shittiest moments for me. So I would need to go on Thursday. And then the only moments I could do anything would be Friday, Saturday. We have that for like 3 months. Then people rioted. Over here, people just sat down and didn't do anything. They just didn't do anything because actually a lot of people from stores a lot of people are working at stores. That's the thing. We don't have much people that are like managers, directors, or anything like that. And a lot of those directors and managers are just switching companies. So like you don't get such a rotation on those positions. So people are just like cashiers, shelf stockers, and stuff. Like a lot of people just work handle. So like there was no one to riot. Friday, Saturday stores were clogged. Also, people lost income because can't work on Sunday with higher rates. Yeah, yeah, and over here no one really do that because that was additional day off that they could have to rest. You know, because those Sundays weren't real, are not accounting into the hourly rates. So no one really done anything about it. So a lot of people worked markets, and sure they get like a lot, and throw people like after actually for the first 3 months, yeah, that was the similar period. For the first 3 months, people were like guzzling with issues. Stores were clogged, people had no idea how to make groceries anymore, and now it's like it just normalized. The stores are not as clogged anymore. Here they pay higher rates on yellow and red days. A lot of people want to work on those days because they earn 2 days salary. Same here. Same here, but for example, a lot of people don't want to pay their they don't want to they also don't want to pay their employees that rate, those rates basically. So yeah. That's not like, it's just normalized. It's just normalized. That's the thing. Also, I'm happy because I'm finishing another anime. In that period alone of this almost a week, and I'm still going to go. I finished an arc of One Piece. I finished Dan Dan second season. I'm almost finishing now Code Geass second season, which by the way actually starts to look good. But I'm already starting to worry. I'm on episode 18, and they've done really huge thing, and that possibly could be the end of the anime. I'm worried that it's going to be the same issue that Death Note had, so we'll see how I'm going to rate it later. So yeah. For now it's like 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 anime. That season in particular. First one had 6 out of 10. And after that I'm still I should be able to finish another thing. Go for Black Lagoon and Free Ren. Free Ren is around soon, because I'm going to watch Amazon Lily arc from One Piece, which is 3 episodes. I'm going to watch Dungeon Meshi. I'm going to watch another arc, also 3 episodes. And I'm going to watch Free Ren. While watching Free Ren, after watching Free Ren, I'm going to then come back to the Amazon Lily, watch like another 3 episodes, and while I'm going to watch those 3 episodes, I'm going to set up a bunch of other anime. 2 seasons of Black Lagoon, and some other anime. I forgot. I have to make a randomizer what anime is going to land in there. But I also want to watch all the seasons of the specific anime, so it's Dungeon Mesh is fun too. So it's 6 out of 10 for me. I've seen some cutouts. Yeah, that's the thing. Also, sorry that I'm speaking about like random things right now. I'm just spewing like random shit. I'm doing that because I'm like thinking about the background still. I'm still thinking about the backgrounds. So like, I don't know what to do. I could make like bunch of. That's the thing. Like, what's my main issue? Art side of YouTube is not anymore. I'm diverting the topics. No, it's like I'm still going on with the topics because I want to talk about something, not to just sit through stuff. Also, sorry, jokes I've missed on that one. That's fair. I wish you the best with your New Year's resolutions. I also made some myself. Would you like to be mutuals? That's not totally fine. I love making video acquaintances. It's okay, Juxai. It's okay. I'm not really collabing with that many people. Like, recently I've been only collabing with my girlfriend. So she's more of a guest right now instead of like a collab. So like, I'm just not in a collab stage, I guess. But like, sure, why not? Yeah. No worries, that's fair. Was enjoying hearing you yet. Thank you. So yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. That's the thing. Also, 1 month. To my birthday, yeah. I'll be 26 in exactly 1 month. Exactly 1 month. January 27th. That sucks. I'm getting too old. Yep, yeah. Thanks for reminding me, man. Thanks for reminding me. God damn it. Uh, I'm still thinking what I can do. Like, to be fair, I think the background would depend on what I want to do. So, like, I still need to make the list for video and stream content for art channel. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, yeah, actually, I guess in the next week I'm going to really zoom through a bunch of anime, to be fair. I've noticed that my ratio of watching was like, I was watching entire seasons of anime throughout one day, basically, which is crazy for me, by the way. Yeah, I was usually watching anime, to be fair. Yeah, that's the thing. I was usually like kind of setting off with a bunch of other things. So what I want to do, I guess the backgrounds are going to depend on those. So like I have to plan out what I want to do, and then based on what I've planned out, that's what's going to really give me an idea for the background for those. Simple as that. So I want to do sketching for sure. Mm, study. I want to get in back in studying on stream because first of all, I want to study environmental design. My time vanishes somewhere. I can't tell. 20 minutes later, I watch entire season of anime in one day. No. You get me wrong. I'm watching anime only when I'm doing something. It's my background noise. I don't watch streams. I stopped watching YouTube. I just turn on anime and I'm letting it go on while I'm, for example, drawing and working on my projects. But why? Because YouTube sucks. Like, come on, I'm turning on a YouTube video and I have to wait 30 seconds for the video to turn on. My internet is like 1 gig speed. So, like, I prefer watching entire season of anime because also I can like still I'm managing to multitask enough to like still know what's going on in the anime. So it's literally the easiest for me this way. You know what I mean? This sucks that, like, and it's also allowing me to watch bunch of anime. So that's the thing. I want to do the deep dives, like art styles, for example. So for example, let's say Naruto art style deep dive, and I'm looking at the entire. What's your favorite movie? What you mean by favorite movie? Like anime movie or just a movie? I don't think I have a no. I don't think I'm a movie kind of person. I really loved the like the entire series with Warrens. Yeah, I love paranormal stuff. Those, especially like the first Annabelle movies and the first Nun. Or imagine someone watching Steins Gate, but as a background noise, cleaning stuff and working and etc. in the meantime. I've done the same thing. I just I was just drawing in the background. And you could see me still knowing what the heck is going on with in Steins Gate. But then you miss like 30% of it. No, because I've had it like in the corner of my eye. I was still seeing those things. I'm covering my screen slightly so I can still see what's going on in the anime. Like right now I'm watching the Code Geass. Like it's crazy how bunch of all of the characters changed over time. The for example, when Lelouch just out of nowhere had his Gias turned off just because he didn't know that he has a Gias, you know? And literally the moment he kissed C2, that was the moment where he was capable to activate his GS again. But what's actually different, like what's actually different, that I don't think many people noticed, Lelouch was capable to command one of the characters several times throughout the series. Because he had his Gias and he was ordering the character, but like the character was like, it was dying, it was bleeding out. So like he was like constantly ordering the character, and you could still see the Gias taking effect on the character. That means it stopped being restricted to only one person. Oh, if some people pay 100% attention, they know. Yeah. Well, like I was just, I was drawing in the meantime. I was working on the tile set. And the character set. And I was doing some sketches. So like it's, yeah, but you notice the obvious stuff. No. Like, you'll never notice the not obvious stuff if your attention is somewhere else. At times I don't think what not obvious stuff can be. Because literally everything must be somehow presented. Because like what non-obvious stuff I'm going to miss? Like the guy that was thrown as the Lelouch little brother instead of Nanali had Nanali's pendant that apparently he received for his birthday. Because like it's been a year and they couldn't really like figure out that they are going to have like how the broken radio tower has different damage than before. In which anime we are talking about? In Code Geass, radio tower was damaged because of how the body in the closed with the blood lace in different position. But which anime we're talking about? Still Code Geass, or are we Code Geass, or the thing Steins Gate? In Steins Gate, I've seen that, and the damages were shown later on too in the anime. Also it was because for example the body had different thing. I was noticing those things. just some things are not really, for me, are just not worth like mentioning. Also, bunch of small visual clues. There, there were a bunch of different changes in characters. Behavioral, not and visual too. Like when the main character was changing. Yeah, big changes, but those are the obvious. No. There was a huge change. There was not really a huge change, but it was like there are some changes between the coat that the main character had between like the coat that he was wearing for, you know, for the time travel stuff and for the academy stuff. So for example, he had two different coats, but then you see him, for example, coming back from the station in the already in a coat. So you can see that, for example, the like you already had the character, the main hero is acting a certain way, behavioral thing, and it has like, you know, the typical like stuff in the pocket, right? Like the card, the pens and stuff. And then for example, you have a character, the same character going on a metro, but you don't see those stuff in the coat, in the pocket, and the character starts acting differently. So like, for example, the visual cue, it's as if he wasn't there in to begin with in the lab. Because like, who gets rid of his access ID card? You keep wearing it on yourself. You are not leaving it. For example. Uh, I'm still kind of like wondering, because deep dive, sure, that's a cool thing. Sketching study, deep dives, illustrations. At some point, here's the thing. At some point, I was splitting illustrations with character arts, but I'm starting to feel like it might not be actually a desirable thing for me. Like, sure, I can make character arts and shit, but is that worth my attention? Splitting the two? We're going to make character arts by sketching. Then we are going to color the characters and, for example, throw them into a background. Also, illustrations are a bit different, right? Because there can be storytelling and non-storytelling, right? So we have a storytelling illustration. But I'll head out for now. Can't wait to see what you do for the New Year's. Alrighty, Joksai. Thank you. Take care. So yeah, like sketching study. What happens with the bunch of OCs? That's the thing. Like, I want to keep at it. I want to keep at it because it was really cool. But the problem is those don't click. And I'm right now like thinking about doing stuff that would like show off my character basically in some way. So I need some advertisement stuff. I mean the fantasy characters. Yeah. I know what you mean. Because I want to keep at them. I was even thinking about reusing them for some other stuff. But like, I can't have way too much projects for the channel, so I need to focus on something. I want the sketches to be around the anime character. Do a game about them. That was one of the things I was thinking about, because I want to make a game. I want to make an RPG game. And to be fair, I haven't really had much idea for the story for the game. And I was like, I have 20 characters, why not? You know? A roguelike is a dungeon based thing, right? A roguelike? Or just some kind of story for each team? Because each team has like different goals. So in theory, for each team, I could make a different game. So that's the thing. And yeah, you're right. I can make a game about it, because I have the game. I have the platformer game with the Kitsuya. We've started talking about it on streams at some point. Maybe some card battler with team synergies and stuff. Yeah, sounds cool. Sounds cool, and might be actually simple to make too. That's nice. Might go into that, because I've made 20 OCs. I need to do something with them. So we have that. Character art and illustrations, I guess, are going to be similar. I want to finally start making character arts a bit more ambitious. So with an actual like background and stuff, maybe something simple, kind of like what Rino Tuna does. So that still accounts for illustration, I guess. Study, sure, I could do study. Deep dives, that's for the videos, by the way. Sketching stream. Study stream. Illustrations stream. But that's something I'm wondering. Time-lapses are not good anymore. People are, for example, now making like very long videos for drawing, like Minie, for example. Not that. So for example, Minie, right? Like Minie has some like very fast thing. Like for example, she's doing for example, she's doing like a short speed paint to certain point, and then making like 20 minutes, like last 20 minutes as a normal thing. Or making 57-minute long of drawing a character, hour and 12 minutes, hour and 4 minutes, 54 minutes, hour long, 57 minutes, 34 minutes, right? So like the Mini's thing is like very like all over the place. For example, Minie is also doing like the thing where she's filling out the entire page full of sketches. Just some sketches. Like something that I've done, but like on a bit more cluttered way. It's a really cool idea, but that's not my idea of sketching, I guess. You know? It would be cool for like study like bunch of different facial expressions and stuff. So that would be cool. Yeah. So that's the thing. That's why I'm still wondering. Also, Creator, for example, right? Like Creator is literally having the thumbnails and like everything basically, like sketches and stuff, just kind of all the way around the, you know, kind of like general idea of like what they've done during the stream. So there's a bunch of sketches and stuff. Art VOD shows what they've done. So that's like very like specific thumbnail for a stream. Also, I see that Creator is barely going for when it comes to the VODs, Creator is basically barely crossing 2 hours. Okay, there are some longer streams. 3 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, hour 32 minutes, yeah. So just it's kind of a different thing, basically. Okay. Makes sense. So there are like different streams, but I see that usually they're streaming around what, 3 hours? Yeah, around 3 hours. Plus there's a bunch of study, etc. I like that. I like this. Do I want to do anything else on my art channel? Sketching, study, deep dives, illustrations, DAA. On videos. So we are going to have what, 2 types of videos? People don't do time lapses anymore, that's the problem. They are just making VODs and stuff. Well, I guess there are still people that are doing that. Damn. Um, I hate this. So we have, again, for the streams, we have sketching, study, and illustrations. I don't think I need anything else for the streams, do I? Because it's just wide variety of things. Sketching is just sketching whatever. I can even do sketches for illustrations. I mean, I'm still planning on making the anime characters or VTubers into illustrations that I'm going. I mean, the characters that I'm sketching out, because I want to make one day that I'm going to sketch 3 characters and then finish illustrations throughout bunch of bunch of different streams. And then I want to also make a study, manga making. I wanted to do the manga making too. On stream, I guess. So 4 things on stream, 2 types of videos. I mean, I could do the time lapses. Like there were some, wait. Time lapse. Drawing. Yeah. But now time lapses are in form of shorts. And then we have like Kuroshiro, which has like my process, right? Yeah, and it's some time lapse. Akihito Yoshitomi is just sketching just showing sketching live. I don't think there are like time lapses, are there? Yeah. It's just drawing like this. But like all the fresh time lapses are just like shorts at this point, and they're like 3, 7 months old, 9 months old. People don't do time lapses anymore. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, people just don't do time lapses anymore. Would be time lapse like interesting for y'all? Why art has to be so irritating to figure out content for? I could, if it's a tutorial, but then it would be DAA. I'm planning, I know now how I want to do the DAA, so I know that this is how it's going to look like right now, you know? Used to watch time-lapse tutorials, yeah. So like deep dives are going to be very specific because those are still going to be time lapses, but like it's going to express what's very important for art style. Like I'm going to show differences in construction of the characters. So for example, like, oh, you can see that this character is very realistic, but you can see that the characters are elongated. For example, right? Like in Code Geass, right? So the characters are slender, elongated, so like longer limbs, very like thin bodies. Everything is like just a stick, basically. What's specific for Bleach, right? And like just generally, I want to express and talk about like what's specific for the Bleach art style, Dragon Ball art style, Naruto art style, One Piece art style, just basically like deep dives into those things. And not only art styles. I want to start with the art styles, but other things are also going to be important for me, that I would want to make deep dives for. DAA is going to be also time-lapse version, but it's going to be a tutorial. So like, like I'm going to just make a time lapse, right? Like how I'm making construction, etc. Then how I'm using the construction for poses, and I'm thinking actually about making some songs for the background. But I'm wondering if I want to talk in the background or if I want to make like writings in the background, like editor's notes kind of thing. That's that's how I want to make the difference for those. For the manga making, it might be a bit easier because to make a thumbnail, because I'm going to actually have the cover art for those. Right, so there's going to be the cover art that might be the thumbnail for it. For illustrations, what am I going to do with illustrations? I'm also thinking about just like maybe downloading the illustrations and cutting them just so only the moments where I'm drawing are going to be inside of the video. So there's going to be like how I've been drawing this or that. And if I know that there's like a moment where I'm not speaking anything, I'm just going to time lapse it. Or that I'm not speaking anything important. But at the same time, like I'm not really expressing much, you know? It's not like I have a topic for streams and I'm talking about that topic. Doesn't CSP do it? CSP is allowing me to make a time lapse, yes. But I'm thinking about just cutting the streams themselves. Like downloading the VODs and cutting them into the streams. But that would mean that I would have to like kind of figure out what I want to talk about during the streams. And figure out like stuff and like what is something that I can keep up with. But it's going to be difficult if I want to stream several times in a week. That's why I've surrendered. Like there was a time where I've had actual topics prepared. Because what else I can talk about? I'm not like consuming anime 24/7. So I can't really talk about different anime. I'm not playing games 24/7 either. So I can't really talk about the games. There are variety of topics that I have to dodge. So during the art stream, what I can talk about. That's why I've started to sit silent throughout some of the stream. But without the background music, it's actually starting to be problematic. Drama? Like, what drama is there? AI drama? We've talked about AI drama several times, and it boils down to the same thing. Just people are using it in a wrong thing to scam people, to steal things. Meanwhile, they could use it as a supporting tool to actually speed up their processes. And it's just literally what we've talked about. Like, I can talk about the projects I'm working on, like how much progress I've done on the manga. It boils down to the same thing because I'm here and nobody to argue. But there's nothing to argue. It's the same thing. It's useful tool. Like we are just starting the topic because we are starting to talk about that AI because people are saying that AI is bad. But we are starting to talk about why AI is bad. And we are starting to get on the topics that people are using AI to scam people, to steal things, to cheat on the stuff. Basically, they are using it for the evil. That's why the AI is bad, because the AI is used a lot for the bad stuff. But if it would be used properly to the good stuff, out of nowhere AI becomes a really good thing. So it's just, you know, the same kind of like route. I don't know how to feel about what I'm doing for that practice game project. That's I don't know. That depends what you want to achieve. Because like it depends what you want to do. Because like for example, like games are also split just as art. So there are NSFW and NSFW things. So if you want to do NSFW games, but if it's a test project, is it worth doing an SFW game from it? It's just a test project. Is it going to be an SFW game? Cool, it's a test project, but then what you're going to do with it? So like test practice projects, test projects, it's just like practicing art and stuff. It's not about NSFW or not, but the AI. You know, for example, well, first of all, if you've trained AI on your own thing, right? So you've put work into just training the model to speed things up for yourself. Okay, cool. It might do, some people might call it lazy. But at the same time, for example, like you're going to sit down there. It's a practice project. You're going to sit down there and just draw all the character, like character by character by character, every single piece, all the cutouts are just going to be like, used over for practice project. And meanwhile, you are just spending more time on drawing than as if you would spend it on actual programming or just developing the other game, just generally developing this practice project. So like it's kind of like it's a practice, but what you want to do with it, is it worth putting more effort into that? You know what I mean? It's like how to throw in effort per project scope. Because if it's just a practice project and you're going to throw it out, or you are just doing this because you want to test out some kind of mechanic that you are going to use into a project that you're actually going to put a bit more effort into that, more so like you're going to make your own graphics over the AI graphics or just anything else, cool. Like, that's that. Because it's just that. If it's just a practice project that you're going to throw out, why bother? Why bother just making all those characters, drawing them from the beginning? It's just. I probably release it for free to get some followers. Still, though, what's the effort point? Like, it's just practice. First of all, practice project. Second of all, it's just to like show yourself. Like, if you are going to say like, hey, if you are going to be clear with people still, hey, it's practice project. I've used AI for the graphics because like, why bother? People are going to be like, oh yeah, cool, whatever. Because I've seen already on each, for example, games like that. Hey, it's a practice project. There are just some AI graphics. If the project will fly with the idea, I just exchange the graphics, maybe whatever. And people are like, cool, I hope they actually go through with the project. I would love to see, their actual graphics based on the other projects. And that's just that. Like, you can right now just use placeholders. It's not like it's going to be carved in stone, you know. Thinking about doing the non-practice project this way too, I think I can fix it to the point where people won't tell. But then if you're going to fix it to the point that people are not going to tell, isn't it like doing like bunch of other fixes? Like how much fixes you would have to do yourself to actually make it work? Isn't it going to be more or less the same amount of effort as if drawing it yourself at this point? So the question is it worth it? Yeah, I don't think I have much more content for this. I mean, I had to redraw roughly 1/6 of the peak for the practice one. And I guess you would have to then redraw like what, 2/6, 3/6 of the entire thing to fix it to the point people won't be able to tell. So it's like literally halfway through, halfway done. So isn't it going to be easier for you to just draw the construction, make that the practice, and then just draw over the character if you decide to move on with it? Or just making for yourself some reusable stuff that you can just change the like. Fixing is a lot easier than doing from zero. True, true. And I've seen people actually saying like good things about people fixing AI art. basically. It wasn't like it was frowned upon, but people weren't as salty as someone just saying, "Hey, I drew that," and just showing AI art without any fixes. You know, it was like slightly frowned upon, but it was just normal thing. I've looked recently into some each games, and I've noticed that right now there's not really that much each stuff coming out, neither any updates. Games that are getting on popularity, so newer games, basically any new games, are just getting crapload of popularity. People are getting crapload of subscribers on Patreon just from nowhere. You know, you can tell your opinion. No need to be soft on me because I know you are. I mean, like, I don't know, like, what I can say. Like, you're right. It's easier. Like, it is easier. It's not like I'm soft on that. Like, personally, if I would meet with a game that would, for example, if it's free game, okay, cool. If you would want to sell that game, I wouldn't personally buy game that is using even fixed AI graphics, basically. But it's easier. And people still donate to. The thing I hope for is that I improve on drawing during it. Hmm. I guess it depends what you are going to test. Remember that learning to draw is a bit different than fixing. There's a bunch of things that you would need to do. Like for example, like training the proportions, working out the style, yada yada yada. You could see just based on my thing that there was just a bunch of things, you know. Also, I've been not really doing anything. So sorry, sorry. Uh, but yeah. But I draw that way too, drawing something bad and fixing it until acceptable. I mean, then like I don't know what's your problem. Like you could literally do the same thing, just drawing something even bad, making from it like the practice stuff, and then just fixing it until it's acceptable when you decide to move on to it. But also, like, the thing is not to quit too early on the thing. If you are fixing it, you need to fix it. But sometimes it's good to take breaks from drawing the same thing over and over again, because you can get bored of the thing you're working on. So it's good to throw in variety. That's why, for example, I'm doing so many streams of drawing, but you can still see me like from time to time taking breaks from stuff. I took like half year break. Nah, not like that kind of break. Not that kind of break. Maybe gaming video list is going to be left for something else. Video content, yeah. So sketching study is the stream. How to relearn using my tablet? Oof. Big oof. I'm actually going to cut out the stream stuff and I'm going to leave only video stuff because I want to make like, oh, what the ideas can be for the, for the things from that one thing, for the thumbnails. So that, and now for that, manga making. What can be the background for the manga making thing? I'm still thinking like there has to be the character. Mm, concept. Your VTuber avatar in the star is the star. That's more or less what a lot of VTubers are doing right now, so I guess that's what I would want to do. Large close-up of your VTuber face, upper torso. Exaggerate expressions. But that's what I didn't want it to do. At the same time, if I'm going to do it, I would have to probably figure out like a fast way to draw Davis. Because just drawing full Davis is going to be pain in the ass. Like, for example, I want to also figure out new schedule type. I really like it. I really want to keep it in that way, not the other. But I still need to figure out a bit different way of making the graphics and stuff, or just figure out the graphics basically. Faces plus emotions equal high CTR, very readable and small sizes. True. You know what? That makes sense, but then how I'm going to work things on other stuff? Canvas reveal is sucks. Unless you're throwing on the entire thumbnail already finished work, then canvas reveal doesn't work for streams. Chill art streams, relaxing lo-fi mood, warm colors, your VTuber in a comfy pose, desk scene, tea mug, lamp plants, soft grain or glow overlay. Attracts viewers who want background art streams. Dynamic action pose, energy thumbnail. Huh. You know what? I think I've got more or less an idea. So I know what I'm going to do. Yeah. I've just got enlightened. Okay. So manga making, right? So we want logo, chapter number, maybe logo, chapter number, stage. Quick question. What you all thought about the writing streams? I think writing streams suck on my channel. And I don't know how I could improve on it. Because like, it's not like I'm going to sit down and show you the entire like Google Docs with entire scripture, right? Like I don't want to spoil the thing. But at the same time, isn't like me making the manga on stream already a spoiler? Don't know, kinda. Exactly, that's why I'm not sure if I even want to make the manga streams anymore. I want to release the manga. That's like my goal. Also, not much happening during the streams. Exactly. Exactly. That's why I'm wondering if I want to keep on manga streams. You know what I could do? Sure, manga making stream, but maybe all those projects where I'm just like rewriting the mangas. You know, maybe that would be good. But I think if I would throw manga streams on hold, focus on my personal manga, I'm literally going to sit down and rework the entire daily schedule that I have to ensure like stability and stuff. And I would need to like at least work on this thing for a while. This entire week was already like chill enough for me. I really didn't do much, and I still have to make 5 sketches, and I didn't even finish one. And I need to color 2 of those, and 2 of those are actually from those sketches are actual and colored pieces. Well, one of those colored pieces is a commission, and one of the sketches is also a commission. So I have 2 commissions in total, including into that thing. And I have a request that someone like asked me if I can do it. So like, I don't know. We will see. But I have an idea for you. Sure. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. I want to fix on making more game works because I'm almost done with like first scene of the game that I'm doing. I figure out what engine I'm going to use. I'm figuring out slowly first things. So all I need to know is making the tile set. I already have a base for the character prepared. So what I'll need to do is going to be like throwing in an NPC main character to move around, interactions with objects, interactions with events, inventory, and probably some like simple battle. At least like partially a battle that would work until I actually be in a battle system for the tutorial, and then I will like rethink what I can do for the battle system to make it better. And I would be like dandy, because everything else I have to do is going to be like working on the tile set to fill out the maps. And that's literally it. Because later on it's just going to be probably copy and paste for the events for the NPCs and shit. It's not really going to be that difficult. In Pixel Game Maker, for example, it's not going to be really that difficult. I'm actually wondering if I want to make the game also for the glittering shards directly in the thing. Well, thank you for the idea. Actually, just yesterday I was rethinking the same thing, so that only proves that I was kind of right about myself. Yeah, that's a really darn good idea. So instead of manga making, I'm thinking about the game making right now. You know, kind of like that, those lobotomy operation games where you are making the teams, they can actually make combos together, and it's just like Battler, where you're just like taking a card and throwing on an enemy. That could be cool. Very easy to, I assume simple to make too. But I also wanted to make that free to play gacha. And gacha might be also very simple to make. Especially where I have already got like 20 first characters that I can do. Good to go help my mom pack some heavy stuff. Not sure I'll be back. Alrighty, Zega, alrighty. Thank you for coming. Good luck. I'm probably going to also slowly be wrapping up, so don't worry. I figure out a lot of things. We've had some really cool talks, so I'm really, I'm fulfilled. Hell yeah, sketchy. But yeah, I know now what I want to do. I think on Sunday what we are going to do is making the assets for the channel for those. Because I already know how I'm going to go on that. I'm going to make the logos for each series. So study, sketching, illustrations, manga making is not going to be anymore. Manga making is not going to be anymore. As a matter of fact, I don't think I want to even add the game making at this point. So yeah, only 3 stream series are going to be left. Those are still very time-consuming ones. I'm going to work on the manga off stream. Huge step, huge step. And the videos. Videos, I guess I'm going to add a bit later on. I have to record those things first and stuff, so we'll see how it'll go. And I think I want to make a video whenever I'm going to have day off. For gaming videos, I guess I'm going to wait until Yakuza is going to be done. I'm going to take a week break after Yakuza, and we are going to figure out everything else. The background is still a huge unknown, but I think I know what I want to do. Like maybe a chibis that are going to work around with stuff. But yeah, folks, thanks Zega for being active channel on Twitch. Thanks Muto and Joxai for being active channel on YouTube. Hope you liked this Yap session that we've had and that you've really enjoyed how we've pushed things a little bit. And hey, thanks for watching and stay creative. And I hope to see you all in the next one.